Welcome back to the HMG podcast. I am Rob.
And I'm Dalton.
We are excited to be back here in the belly of the beast here in downtown Knoxville.
Yep.
How you been, man?
Good.
Chilling. Just chilling out?
Yeah.
That's
got
awesome.
a new toy last night. I got a mic arm for my home gaming setup.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of a pain, it's not quite broken in yet.
Yeah.
So the arm keeps raising up a little bit, but I'm sure with time it'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just gotta, I don't even know how you would do that. Just keep weight on it and just keep it to where it's down. Yeah.
It lifts up a lot more whenever the mic isn't on it.
Gotcha.
That's a big thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that weight I think would help. Yeah. But anyways, we are here in the belly of the beast here in downtown Knoxville. Today, I think we're going to kind of talk about where we see media in the future going, kind of like the current trends in media.
Okay.
Kind of, overarching, and then we can also kind of go into some more anecdotal, like how it affects mine and your life and what we consume on a daily basis. But I think kind of for me, I kind of want to know where do you mostly consume most of your content from?
Most of it, YouTube is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the type of people that I follow, where I'm pretty into esports and stuff. That's where most of that is hosted. I don't watch Twitch very often, which is kind of strange because that's where a lot of people who are into that navigate to.
Yes.
But it's just not really for me as a viewer. And then TikTok quite a bit. And originally I thought TikTok was kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But then last summer, my friends convinced me to download it and post little funny moments. And
yeah,
once I started getting likes and followers on TikTok, I was hooked.
So if you guys don't know, Dalton is our resident TikTok famous. We call him D'Amelio around here.
Oh God.
Because how many likes and stuff do you have?
I have.
It's mostly dancing, right?
No, it's not even a little bit of dancing.
Dancing at all.
No dancing at all. I think the closest thing to a dance I've done is did you ever hear that the Fortnite song, the #1 victory royale?
Yes, it gets stuck in my head, bud.
I did a little parody to that for 5 seconds at the end of a video, and that was it. And it was that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything extravagant.
Yeah,
but I consume a lot on TikTok. As far as Instagram goes, I just scroll through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really pay too terribly close of attention, but I feel a lot of people do. Instagram's growing into more of a professional space.
Yes.
Than a TikTok is right
a
now.
Personal creating. Well, but what's funny is something I've noticed on TikTok is everyone makes it, and this is kind of it helps with the way that they've designed their algorithm, but everyone who creates TikToks are creating them with the purpose of a lot of people and strangers seeing it. So if you look at it, you don't see somebody like on Instagram or anything like that. They'll take random pictures of things that nobody really cares about. But on TikTok, people shooting with the purpose and making videos, hopping on trends, hopping on this to get traction out there. You look at Facebook, and that's I'm starting to see that people, especially personally, what they post personally, not what they engage on or watch, but what they're posting on their personal profiles is very personal. They're talking about birthdays, little things here or there, got to see family, whatever. But TikTok, you don't really see that much on people's profiles. If they're doing something exciting, they'll put that together or cut together, or they'll do a dance challenge, or they'll do other stuff like that. But you don't just see them posting small things keep in touch with people, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not so much about keeping in touch. TikTok is very much do you want to be a creator? Come make stuff here.
Correct. And it's very accessible, and it's very, really for what it is, it's really a cool platform.
Well, you can blow up, we talked about last episode about how for professional stuff, you don't want to just be using an iPhone all the time. But for TikTok, that's the best and most optimized thing that you can use.
Yeah.
Because it is in the vertical format whenever you watch it. Whereas a lot of things, you can turn your screen. And I guess you could on TikTok, but nobody wants to take time. I know personally, whenever I'm swiping through and somebody's turn your screen in 3, 2, I swipe right past it because I'm I'm not turning my screen. I'm laying down. I'm holding it up with my pinky and swiping with my thumb. I don't want to turn it and have to readjust.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think, but the cool thing is though too, is it's another one of those, we were talking about, whenever you can get professional video, and then like we'll put stuff for our clients in that aspect ratio to where it fits perfectly on a TikTok timeline.
Yeah.
And it just pops that out much even more. You know, it pops that much more because there's not that much out there on that.
Yeah.
platform.
Well, and there's a lot you have to do for that. Like, it's more than just taking the clip that's in a regular widescreen and then putting it and just uploading it by itself to where you get the huge like black bars on top and bottom. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it to making it like stand out to a viewer's eye to where they actually want to watch more than 2 seconds of it. Because within the first 2 seconds on TikTok, if you don't have somebody's attention, good luck getting them to watch the rest of it. Like, it's not going to happen.
Well, and if you kind of pay attention to the content that we create for people for their normal media sites, you know, when I say normal, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it is, you know, it's still kind of attention grabbing, but like you look at the same exact content that we cut for TikTok, and it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Captions, vibrant logo. Like it's attention grabbing, which you have to be. I mean, you're fighting for any attention that you can get there.
Well, and the big difference is that if you think about like an Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, all those kind of things that we do traditionally, right? You have to click on it. For the most part, you have to click on the video. So there's a title that goes into it. There's a thumbnail that goes into it. There's all these things that will convince you to click on it. Because by the time you've clicked on it, you've already kind of like committed to watching a good chunk of that video. Whereas with TikTok, it just pops up on your For You page. Or if you get bored of the For You page and go to the following tab, like it just pops up there. It's in no sequential order. It's in nothing like that.
There's no grid.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing that you
Unless
can
go to somebody's profile, but that's it.
Right. And how often do people really I mean, sometimes you'll find something that you're like, that was cool. I wonder what else they post, and then you scroll through their profile, right? But like for the most part, it's just what you see on your For You page. So the goal is getting on there.
Yes.
And something that I've actually learned that gets you on the For You page more frequently is tracking your like posting time for your trending videos. So if you're a creator on TikTok and you go to your little creator like profile thing, it'll show you your, like if you're on the creator fund, how much your estimated earnings are, and then it'll show your analytics.
Yeah.
And so if you go to your analytics, it'll show you like what content you posted in the last 5 days and what's trending of all of your content over the last 5 days. And so a trick that I've learned is you go into that trending section down there, right? And you look at what time your like top 5 most trending videos are going right now.
Yeah.
And you try to post about that same time.
Okay. Yeah. And that seems to help.
And that's like the best thing to do to get on the For You page. Hashtags are still kind of important as far as like if it is a specific trend, hashtagging for that specific one because it's blowing up and so it'll get pushed to more pages, right? But just putting hashtag For You or FYP or something like that now doesn't really cut it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool too. Like it kind of is a double-edged sword, like to where you don't have that moment of like seeing title, thumbnail, and all that, and letting that work together. Like it's hard, or it's kind of tough because you don't have those tools to like grab people's attention. But also, like on the other hand, like everybody gets their shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you pop up. I mean, like it's like, you know, maybe content that you wouldn't click on before because, you know, they don't have the best title or thumbnails, like that will just pop up on your timeline. So that I think is cool. I think that's definitely cool. So kind of moving on from there, we kind of know where you're consuming. For me, my wife will watch TikToks and then she'll save them for at the end of the day. She'll show me like the best ones that she thought was funny or whatever.
Yeah.
I actually had to delete TikTok because I would find myself spending too much time on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, you stop and like you have like a 5-minute break or something, and then like you start watching and you look up, it's like 2 hours. I've never had something like so mind-numbingly like to where I'm just like, whoa, what happened to that time? Like TikTok. So I had to get rid of it. It just wasn't. I enjoy the platform and I really like the creativity that comes out of it. But for me, like it just wasn't practical to be on it.
Yeah, you just get sucked into that like TikTok world.
Yeah, correct. And then there's like there's trends, and then you got to keep up with the trends and all that, which is cool. I mean, it's a really cool platform. And then I think like the cool thing that I've seen is like leveraging that with the brands that we work with, like has been really fun too.
Yeah.
Because you can do it like in a like trying to be trendy and like just hop on and have like the people in your office like do a dance and like they obviously don't want to do that, and so it's
Right.
cringe. I think we've all seen those. Like it's like a doctor's office, and
Yeah, and
they're
there's like the one
Yeah.
young doctor, young nurse
and he's
that's like trying to
super
convince
into
everybody to do it.
and then you got like the old, and they're like, that's not good. You know, obviously, like that's not that cool. But like, there's cool ways to optimize it, and so it's a very powerful tool for brands, which is something that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
Working with brands that we've been working with on doing that. I mostly watch YouTube. Like, if it was not for Tennessee football, I would not have a cable. And my son likes to watch Mickey Mouse, but other than that, that's it. But I guess
watch Mickey Mouse on Disney Plus.
Yeah. But yeah, so other than that, like, we would not have cable if it was not for University of Tennessee football. And so, like, it's all YouTube for me all the way.
I'm sure there's a way that you can stream.
Oh, there
YouTube
is.
football.
Yeah, I think we'll do Hulu or whatever, but we have it
like the
it's a
live
whole thing with
sports
our
package.
Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Oh,
so.
I got you.
But yeah. And I think that the thing with that is like, for me, I like that sweet spot of like 10 to 15 minutes of a video. And I think you were talking about you don't like to watch Twitch, and I'm kind of the same way, because it's like a long commitment. Like, to be sitting there, like, I don't necessarily have time to go and like put this up on a screen and just be sitting there with you playing games. I'll watch recaps of Twitch streams where like they put a compilation.
Yeah,
of stuff
somebody
together.
chops it up.
I'll
I
watch
love
that.
those.
Yeah, I'll watch
those.
that all day. But like, I can't just sit there and like watch them scroll through the menu. Like, even if they're like funny or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
you got to be really funny to be scrolling through the menu and having me laughing.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Or even be entertained.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really do that. TikTok's cool. I enjoy that, but YouTube's kind of my sweet spot right now.
Yeah.
And I watch mostly that. And then like TV shows, even there, like with how busy with work and then, kids and all that, it's hard to like commit to a TV show.
Especially a new one. I feel like a new TV show is quite a big commitment.
Oh yeah.
And that sounds really dumb saying it out loud, but like so many times I'll have people like recommend a show to me, and very seldom will I actually watch it, because for the most part I just watch TV like whenever I'm about to fall asleep.
Yes.
And so when The Office was on Netflix, that was like mine and Morgan's show.
Yeah.
We just like turn The Office on and we'll be out within 2 episodes.
Yeah, we would just have it playing throughout, like that's just the background noise.
Yeah.
And you can look up at any moment and you've seen the episode a million times, but it's still funny.
Yeah, and you know what's going on, but you're like, I know what Dwight's about to do.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Yes. And so, but also like there's like this sunken time cost like thing for me too with a TV show. It's like, I don't like to watch, like if I don't know for sure I'm going to like something, like I don't like to watch like I don't have time to like watch 3 or 4 episodes in and be like, okay, this is a good show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to like get me right then and there.
Yeah.
And then so, that's where like for us, like we try to take that mentality of like every customer, every person that we're engaging with the people that we work with, like we got to grab them right now. We got to give them something valuable right now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have time, their time can't be wasted.
Yeah.
And so,
well, because they're busy just like we're busy.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But whenever we do hit that sweet spot and like we're able to make content that the people that they're wanting to engage with are engaging with, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really watch any normal TV. I don't do much Netflix. I do every once in a while, like Saturday
kinda
mornings.
how we are.
Saturday
Like,
mornings I
yeah.
will. But like YouTube, I can have something playing on my phone and watch it wherever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I like listening to podcasts on YouTube because I know that there's a video there while I'm like working on just color or graphic stuff that doesn't require audio.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like all these podcasts that I watch on YouTube, I know they're available on Spotify. I know they're available on Apple Podcasts or all that kind of stuff. And there's just something about like knowing that there's a video that at any point I could click on, watch for like 20, 30 seconds and kind of like see the people talking and then click back off and go back into Photoshop or back into Lightroom, Premiere, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
I like doing that more than like going on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Anchor or whatever and listening to it there.
Yeah.
With the exception of Joe Rogan, because like you have to watch it on Spotify now.
Yes, which stinks.
Yeah.
Which stinks.
But
they still got the clips, which those clips fit right into my sweet spot, 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is how I like it. So
Yeah.
it kind of works out. So we're kind of talking about it. And if you notice, like none of what we've discussed has been like, I got to watch my show every week at 6 p.m. on Tuesday on CBS. like for us and our generation, and for sure the generation coming in after us,
Absolutely. Next generation.
like traditional media, I think is having a tough, or is going to have a tough time. That doesn't mean I think it, like those companies or any of those organizations or even the whole entities themselves are going to go away. I think the way they're doing business now is going to have to shift.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Where do you see kind of like everything moving in the future? I think like, because and we'll break it into two. I think like traditional media is like TV, and then you have like TV and all that stuff, and then and radio, and then you have like print. And I think print is in a really tough spot.
Print is going to die in our lifetime.
Yes.
In our lifetime, print is going to go away.
And it won't be necessarily like, but the thing is like, you know, all these big newspapers and stuff, all they have to do is just turn their content from print to digital, which they do well.
Some places do it decently. Some places like refuse to switch because they're like, this is the way we've always done it. Back whenever they invented the printing press. And there's like a certain
integrity of pen to paper.
Yeah. And those places that have too much integrity to adapt to the times are going to struggle. They're going to struggle bad. Yes. And it may not be immediate. Like if they're not seeing it right now as bad as like it could be, wait until the kids who are in elementary school right now are in high school or in college, like in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Like next 10, I say within the next decade. By the 2030s, print is either going to have to adapt or die. Like you're either going to buy out Netflix or you're going to die out like Blockbuster.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I'm in 100% agreement for print. I mean, and you know, there are some things that I think that they could do to like help and leverage their credibility and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that is like what they have is they have like the integrity of like being professional journalists. They have like, you know, they have this whole system of, you know, giving people like a more well-rounded view of what's actually happening as opposed to like some news station that just cherry picks or something like that.
Right.
So like there's like benefits to the way that they have been working. It's like, but how can you transfer that into the digital age? And that'll be like really interesting, I think.
Well, they're already kind of a step behind places like big time 24-hour news networks like Fox News, CNN, all those kind of places, because they already have the visual content that they're putting on TV, and then they just have to have a team of editors, you know, put it on Twitter or whatever the case may be. And it's just kind of like what we do with the re-optimization of content, just distributed in different places. Print has got to like get personalities and start up like a whole new side of things.
Yes.
Or what I have seen with some smaller print companies, like I think we were talking about the other day, my friend Tyler over at the Daily Times in Maryville, they live tweet like a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think like stuff like that, but they do it more so through their reporters, which is cool, than through like their actual like official like Daily Times account. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of interesting because like smaller places like that are more focused on building those personalities around like their organization than just building their organization and having the personalities kind of get swept under, because I feel like that is the biggest thing for like digital branding is having personalities associated with it.
Yeah.
As far as like you saw the newest cover of SportsCenter, right?
No.
It's FaZe Clan.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And FaZe Clan, the big thing that they focused on back in the day was like building those personalities and picking up people from like smaller little teams and stuff that are personality driven creators. Yeah. And then that blew them up to such a big point that like Bronny James Jr. Is in FaZe Clan.
Son.
Yeah. Kyler Murray,
NFL quarterback. And so FaZe Clan is a esports organization.
Yeah.
And so they play professional video games.
Yeah.
And that's how they do their thing.
Yeah. But the biggest thing behind it is the content that they create behind it. So they have like professional teams for Call of Duty, Rocket League, I think a couple other games. But like the big thing is if you go to their YouTube or if you go to their Twitter, it's so much just content from creators and personalities and stuff like that they've not only grown an audience on that side, but they've grown an audience on the competitive side. And that just it's almost like think about it like income, right?
Yeah.
Having multiple streams of income is better for you financially. Same with brand building. Having multiple streams of audience is good for branding.
Yeah.
And that's really that. I think that's what they did really well, and I think that's how like some of these smaller papers and stuff like that are going to be able to kind of get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, and I think there's a huge opportunity because like it seemed like there for a hot minute it was like everything was consolidating and becoming like into these bigger organizations and all that.
Yeah.
But now like we'll be able to see like there's a real opportunity for like that to break down into like more regionalization, if you will, like to where people have like connections with like their reporter from this area, he's kind of semi-popular in this town or whatever, and then people just go there for their local news.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they just have their one or two places that they go for their national news, but they're getting their stuff really, really quickly from these people who have the ability to go and be on the scene or whatever.
Yeah.
But because like I'm looking here and it's so I looked up some statistics, and it says about 26% of Gen Z said that video games, so it's kind of, I wanted to lead in while you're talking about FaZe Clan, is their top entertainment activity.
That seems almost like strikingly low to me.
Well, no. Okay. So that's their top entertainment activity.
Oh, okay.
87% of those in the age bracket 14 to 24, which is Gen Z, says that they play video games either daily or weekly.
Okay.
And then
seems more like it.
So in that same age group, it's followed by listening to music is 14%, browsing internet is 12%, engaging on social media is 11%. So, 26%, that's the biggest chunk of people that say this is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
And then 87% of people in that age group say I at least play once a week.
Yeah,
which
like
is huge.
It's a regular.
Yeah,
thing
and it's
for
like
me.
no longer like you just don't want to play sports. Like all the athletes, everybody. Like if you look at people in college or D1 athletes, they're playing Xbox.
Everybody
after
was,
practice. Everybody's playing practice,
especially with what happened in 2020. Dude, everyone was playing Warzone.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Yeah. One of my my old neighbors at my apartment were UT baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was one night like I was heated. It was bad. I was like yelling, slamming my desk. Like I was so mad. I don't even remember what happened because this was months and months and months ago, probably close to a year ago. And maybe like a day or two later, I went outside to like go to my car to go to work or wherever I was going. And at the same time, one of my neighbors was leaving. And like as I'm going down the steps, he's like, "Hey, bro, you play Warzone, don't you?" Said, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I could tell." He's like, "I play Warzone too." And so he like added me on PlayStation and stuff after that. I think I played like one game with him.
That's pretty cool.
Like we didn't do very well, but
yeah.
And then he had to like go to practice. But
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, I mean, like that just shows like everybody plays it. Okay, so it says that so that's 20%, 26% say video games is their top. 87% say they play it once a week. But I think as a general trend, it shows how little traditional media is like a part of the lives of young people.
Yeah.
And the next generation. And the people really, a lot of brands that we work with want to reach, right?
Right.
And then so kind of looking at that, only 10% of Gen Z says watching TVs or movies is their preferred pastime. That's compared to 18% of millennials, 29% of Gen Xers, and 39% of boomers.
That just jumps and jumps and jumps.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's clear that keeping up with media trends, being forward-looking, and optimizing like your presence on these new media platforms is like the way, not only the future, but I would say now. I mean, because they're of age to spend money now.
Yeah.
They're the ones who decide what the trends are in the market. So it would kind of be foolish not to take advantage of these things or these platforms that are, the cool thing is versus digital and all these platforms that we're talking about, like it's free to create on almost all of them.
Basically,
I mean, it's not like traditional media to where you have to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get, a 30-second spot.
Yeah. Or broadcasting rights.
Yeah. So, I mean, like it's a no-brainer. It's just whether or not you're willing to like put in the thought, put in the work and put yourself out there, because if you aren't doing it, I guess other people are. So,
yeah. So now what's that going to do for Hollywood?
I think Hollywood is going to, I almost think like there'll be a definite shift. There'll be a definite shift in like how many movies and stuff are made. I mean, because I think there's going to be less and less just home runs, you know?
Yeah.
Easy
I mean, we're
home
starting to
runs.
see that now.
Easy home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just put this person and this person, it's going to be a hit. There's going to be less and less of that.
Yeah.
Just because people don't have the time. And then I also think they'll find a way. I mean, they have enough capital that they can just go and like invest in other ways or find different ways. But you start to see like bigger personalities getting on YouTube. You know, Will Smith has a sizable YouTube following. Like,
I didn't know that. Wait, really?
oh yeah. He's like one of their. I mean, and whenever he came over to YouTube, like YouTube like pushed him up
naturally.
But he's like, and he like creates like high quality stuff. Like he uses like his production. I think he's involved somehow
like
in a production company.
Okay.
And so he's like doing all kinds of cool stuff, cool VFX and stuff like that. But like you'll see stuff like that, which is cool. And then the neat thing is the more large names give themselves to those platforms, the more validity it adds to those platforms, which is going to be really interesting to see. You know, that your content can be put right next to Will Smith's content.
Yeah,
it'll be
that's
really cool.
Crazy.
It'll be really cool.
That's crazy to think of.
I mean, yeah, and it's a reality right now. I mean, and you know,
yeah.
So I think, you know, it'll be a definite shift. But that's what, you know, that's my job, you know, is looking at how these trends are going to happen and helping navigate that for our clients and as well for us, like to be able to provide value to the people we work with and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think we're in a really, really cool time. I mean, because I mean, I think we're at the turn of like what it would be like to be in the Industrial Revolution or, you know, any of those times where there's just so much change happening.
Yeah.
Like the cool thing is like anytime there's a bunch of change happening there's a lot of progress and money and success to be had. So
yeah,
that's the cool thing. It would be
and it's already started.
Oh yeah.
Like it's already we're in the thick of it right now.
Oh yeah.
It's really getting to the point now where it's like get on the bandwagon or get left behind.
Well, the cool thing is too, like, and as we progress more, like the way it's been and the way it will go is it's not like linear, it's exponential because, you know, once this certain technological advancement comes along, it's not like, okay, well, the next step is this. It's like, well, that enables two more technological advancements and then they all build off each other. Like you look at Bluetooth and what that's done.
Yeah. Right.
You know, if you would have told me that I could take data from my phone, I get in my car and all of a sudden I could be playing something from my phone, which is crazy enough that I could play music from my phone.
Yeah.
Without plugging anything in, without pressing a single button, it'll automatically connect to my car and play
you just got to start the car.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, you know, people 15 years ago would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
20 years ago. So, you know, stuff like that is super cool. And the cool thing that we're seeing is like, we're able to find fun, really neat and engaging ways to like utilize all this progress and like help our clients with it, which is cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sweet. All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching. Look forward to seeing you guys next episode on the HMG podcast.
See ya.